So I'm getting a lot of questions from everybody, friends, family, you guys in the comments, everybody. Pejjy, is now a good time to buy Tesla stock? It's down 50%, more than 50% from its all-time highs. Right now, stock is about 235 bucks per share. That's incredible, all the way down from 480 bucks. That's insane. With all this tariff news going around, the whole market's going down, and we buy into weakness, and now I'm getting these questions. Is it a good time to buy? Now, if you guys want my opinion, my biased opinion, it's always a good time to buy Tesla stock if you're a long-term investor. But we gotta look at it fundamentally if right now is a good time to buy or not, which is why I have this chart that I'm going to be going over with that is also available on Patreon that you guys can go around and mess around there as well. So in this video, we'll see if it's a good time to buy. Long term, we'll go all the way as far as 2027. Of course, the longer you hold it, the better, based on fundamentals, based on revenue, profits, vehicle deliveries, all that good stuff. Every quarter I do something like this. So do me a favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get down to it. So in this chart, we can see the full year of 2024, and these are the legit numbers of everything what has happened. The revenue of the entire year of 2024 was 97,690 million. Yeah, 690 million. 69 is there, which is quite hilarious. A net income gap of just over 7 billion, non-gap almost 8.5 billion. Much lower than it was in 2022 or 2021, where it was at an all-time high of 12 billion. 2 years after, we're still not there. The question is, in 2025, will we have this? That is the question to be answered. But let's go back to 2024. We can see the PEs, 70 PE as the bear case, base case 120 PE, and a bull case of 237 PE because the stock did go as high as 480 bucks per share. And yes, all these stock prices did happen in 2024. It did go as low as, actually lower than a 70 PE. I think it went as, 69 PE, 68 PE of 138 bucks per share, right below $500 billion, which is just absolutely insane. And the medium stock price of the whole year was around 240s, which would be a P of 120. And of course, the bull case or the max it hit was 480. That's a PE of 237, which is insane, but it tells you that this is Tesla stock. It can go way down, it can go way up, and my God, if you're swing trading this, you can make a whole lot of money. Not financial advice. By the way, this video is not financial advice, but it puts things into perspective. That's the important part. So what could the stock price potentially range between 2025 all the way to 2027? That is a hard question to answer, but it's one that we can probably guess and see where the stock can be by end of this year when we have the full numbers with the PEs and stuff like that. So that's what I want to do today. So in 2025, all the way to 2027, you guys can see my vehicle deliveries, the average prices, the credits, services, leasing, energy. You guys can see energy is growing massively. We have FSD global revenue and profits happening starting this year. I have a very whopping number of 3 billion in revenue and an 80% margin of 2.4 billion. Now, will this happen? Well, we just got FSD launched in China, and it is a one-time fee of 8,800 bucks per not bucks per share, but $8,800 per purchase, which is, pretty expensive in China. But they have over 2 million customers there, so even if 5% of them get it, some people say it's low, some people say it's high, but if 5% do get it, that's automatically $880 million in revenue. Soon, Europe is going to happen as well. And then we don't know the take rate in the US either. And of course, maybe cybercap stuff will be happening. I know mass production next year, but we'll see. We'll see about this year. I have robotaxi here as well because we're starting literally in 2 months. Literally robotaxi unsupervised is starting, and it's going to grow bit by bit in cities. So 45 million in revenue and 14 million in profits. I think it's fair. Operating costs, you guys can see that. And you guys can see the other years as well, how robotaxi is growing 10x and then just growing rapidly there as well as the FSD global revenue. You guys probably also noticed that I did bring down my vehicle delivery estimates for 2025. Instead of being around 2.2, I brought it down to 2 million because of course Q1 we have 336,000 vehicle deliveries. I don't know how they can hit 2.2 million vehicle deliveries. That means in Q4, they have to deliver over 700,000 vehicles, which I don't know how they're going to do it, even if affordable models are there, because even if the cyber cap is there, really, I mean, that takes a while to ramp up, right? It's not going to be easy. I mean, it's going to take a lot of time. So I adjusted my vehicle deliveries from 2.2 to 2 million. In 2026, I brought it down from 2.8 million to 2.5 million. And then 2027, 3.5 million, because affordable models, cyber caps, all that kind of stuff, semis, all that kind of stuff, it's going to be insane. Nonetheless, you guys can see the revenue and profits, what I think what could potentially happen. 2025, I'm saying a net income gap, which is more important than the non-gap, 10.4 billion. So we're not even hitting the 2022, 2021 levels at the peak of that. So that is important. But the year after that, you guys can see profits going to over 15 billion and then over 21 billion. And then it'll just continue to, thanks to Robotaxi and FSD and energy, gonna be insane. And then you guys can see the revenue as well, 115 billion, 147 billion, almost 200 billion. It's gonna be insane. So let's go see what the stock price would be in the bear case, base case, and bull case for all the years, and then put it in this little calculation here that if you bought 100 shares today at the price of 235, if you would make money in these cases. It's a very interesting model, so I know you'll enjoy it. So let's get down to it. Smash that like button because I know you didn't. All right. Let's get down to it. So in 2025, the bear case, I'm going to put a 70 PE because Tesla on average, it's always been trading in the 73 PEs. That is the average of it. And usually when it's at 70 PE, it's a pretty low PE for Tesla, especially during these times when there's a lot of growth as that we're trying to price in. I mean, again, in 2024, we had a high PE of 237. So when the market is rainbows and sunshines, Tesla can be as high as 200 PE, which is insane. So in the bear case of 70 PE, that's a stock price of $205 per share or a market cap of 669 billion, which is hilarious. Right now, this can go lower. Some are calling a stock price of 180. That's a PE of 6160, which is 176. If you want to go back to last year, that would be a stock price or a PE of 50, which I don't think that'll happen unless we see a big recession and the whole market's down. And there's everyone's depressed and there's a big recession. I don't know. I don't see it going down that low, but anything is possible. So that's why I'm saying 70 PE going low as 200, 205. And it looks like in the coming days or so, this is how low it could potentially actually go. So let's just say even as low as 60, right? Maybe it can go this. I'm not too sure. But, there's a lot of things that is happening with Tesla, a lot of catalysts. I just don't see the stock being too low. I don't think investors want to keep the stock too low, if you know what I mean. I mean, for me, I'm buying as much as I can. If I see the stock going below 200, you know what I'm going to be doing, right? I'm be dumping my savings into it again. Maybe sell everything and buy more shares. And I think a lot of investors will do that. And a lot of institutions will think the same because they have Robotaxi coming, Enterprise FSD coming, affordable models coming. Who knows? Tesla may announce something here and there and then something big happens. So really, I just don't see it going down that low. I just don't see it. In the base case, I'm going to put a PE of 150, and that's a stock price of $440 per share and a market cap of almost 1.6 trillion. And in the bull case, 200 PE, that's a stock price of $586 per share. Now, you guys already know my price target of this year is $575 per share. That's a PE of 196, which is insane. Which is a lot, right? I mean, but knowing what's happening the next years and the year after that, and what is currently out there and generating money, I do see this happening. That is my price target, and I am not changing it. But it could go high as 586. Some are saying it could go high as $700 per share. That's a PE of, again, ironically, 237, maybe a little bit more, 238 PE, which is insane if that happens. Insane. And some are calling for the stock to be as high as $1,000 per share, which is insane because that's a PE of 341 and a market cap over 3.5 trillion. We need some big news for that. But going back to 200 PE, I can see Tesla ranging between these numbers sometime this year. Not financial advice, but that's what I think that could potentially happen. And it's crazy because just 3-4 months ago on YouTube and X, I had a price target. I showed you guys my price target. You guys can check the video here. I did say clearly that my price target is $575 by end of the year. Man, at that time when Tesla stock was at 480, 450, 440, whatever it was, everyone was calling me, you're the biggest bear. It's going to be 700 by year end. What are you talking about? 1,000 by year end? And I said, no, I'm pretty confident that 575 is a fair price by end of this year, by end of 2025. And now the whole market is crashing. Tesla has gone down more than 50%. They're all saying that
575, man, you're a clown. That's wishful thinking, man. That's not going to happen.
Which is funny because, the emotions are crazy, and that's how I know that I'm going to be right again. So that's 2025. And then let's move on to 2026. A 70 PE, that's a stock price of $301 per share, just below 1 trillion. And here's the crazy thing, guys. The fact that Tesla is not valued $1 trillion with all the stuff that they have, real world data, AI data, and all the crazy things that they have that their competitors or not many other companies have, is mind-boggling to me. And if the stock's going to be $301 per share, not even worth $1 trillion in 2026, I'm gonna be dumbfounded, right? Which is why the base case I have 150 here. This looks more realistic to me. $646 per share, over 2.2 trillion in market cap, and the bull case of 200 PE that can go up as high as $861 per share, or a market cap over 3 trillion. Sheesh moment. In 2027, again, if we put the same PE, 70 PE, stock price of 427, market cap almost 1.4 trillion, base case of 150, $914 per share, market cap of 3.2 trillion, bull case 200 PE, over $1,200 per share, and a market cap of 4.3 trillion. These are the ranges that I can see happening, especially in 2025. Now let's go see, if you buy 100 shares today at $235 per share, and you hold on to these numbers, can you make a profit or not? So let's check this out. In the bear case, by the way, 100 shares at an average price of $235, your cost base is $23,500. Easy math, right? So bear case, you lose almost $3,000 per share in 2025. In the base case, you gain over $20,000. You make $20,000. In the bull case, over $35,000. Now, again, of course, this year it can go to 60 PE. You could lose actually $6,000. That could potentially happen. Tesla stock's not going to zero. Let's just get that out of the way, right? It's just not going to go to zero, right? You can even go to 50 PE as low as that. You can probably lose, let's say 10,000, right? In paper loss, right? If you sell, yeah, you're going to lose that much. But if you hold for another year or so, you can see even in that bear case, you made almost $7,000 per share. Let's also bring that PE to 50. You only lose $2,000 per share. But on the next bear case of that, with a 70 PE, you've made $19,000, or 50 PE, you made $7,000. So it's simple. The longer you hold the stock, as fundamentals come in, as revenue and profits come in from the other sectors, as they grow in revenue and profits, you also make money as well. So going back to 70 PE for all of them, you guys can see the numbers in the bear case for all of them. In the base case of 2025, you made over 64,000. In the bull case, over 86,000. And in 2027, almost 68,000. The base case, in the bull case, almost 100K if these numbers become true. Now, here's the crazy part. Tesla stock can go low as 200. So let's bring the average price down to 200. Look at that. Your margins are more, your cost is less. In fact, if you kept your 23,500, you actually would have had 15 more shares at the lower cost price. But anyways, you guys can see, and you guys can play with the numbers. If you buy at 180, you guys can see the difference. If you buy it at 480, you guys can see how you can profit and lose and stuff like that. Going as far as 2027, of course, if we go further than that, obviously revenues and profits will be more. And the numbers are going to be greater. So anyways, this is the calculator. And again, this is available on Patreon. If you guys want to go around and play around with it, you guys can. But should you buy Tesla stock right now? Again, in my biased opinion, I've been buying since 2020. I think it's going to become the world's most valuable company within the next 5 years. And none of this is financial advice, just my thoughts. And if you're curious like I am, here's your answer. Kinda. But if you guys want a much deeper, a much further stock price prediction that includes every single year, including this year, check this video between CERN and I. Oh man, he breaks it down so greatly and so nicely. Every single sector in high details is absolutely insane. So check it out. I recommend you guys check it out. Subscribe, guys. Become a channel member. If you guys aren't a channel member, man, then I don't know what you guys are doing. It's a way of supporting me, and there's exclusive content for that. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Love ya. See ya.